Welcome to the Host Planet Playbook, your go-to guide for mastering short-term rentals. In this special series, we're sitting down with 30 of the world's top property managers to uncover what really drives success in the vacation rental industry. You'll hear their stories, learn the key lessons they've picked up along the way, and discover the game-changing tech they use to deliver 5-star guest experiences. If you're serious about growing your STR business, you're in the right place. We've also developed an ebook featuring the stories of every manager in this series, and you can download it for free. Head to hostplanet.club to find out more. In today's episode, we're chatting to Andy Easton from Beach Retreats in Cornwall. Stand by for a chat about how to achieve 97% direct bookings and why it's vital to reject properties which don't suit your brand and target guests. This special series is brought to you by Host Planet and Hospitable, the smart AI-powered property management software trusted by hosts worldwide. With Hospitable, you can automate guest messaging, sync calendars across platforms, and manage your rentals with ease, all from one powerful, easy-to-use platform. If you're keen to run your short-term rental on autopilot, try Hospitable today. Visit hospitable.com/hostplanet to see how the platform can save you time, reduce stress, and maximize your earnings. Andy, thank you for being part of the Host Planet Playbook. Let's start with you. What's the name of your company? Where are you located? And how many rentals do you manage?
Hi, James. So I'm with Beach Retreats. We're based in Cornwall in England, and we look after 240 holiday lets.
So tell us, how did you get involved in the world of short-term rentals?
Yeah, not by design. Absolutely not by design. I was working in digital marketing, online marketing as we called it back in the late 1990s, building websites, doing search engine optimization, and it was in the world of publishing as it happened. And it was purely by chance that I was connected by a recruitment consultant to a letting agency in Devon. And the skills that I had in terms of websites and the space was very much kind of new, wasn't it, for holiday lets at that time. So it was a marketing opportunity which turned into a more general role. But a long time ago, we built the first website from handcrafted with Dreamweaver and all these great tools that we had back in the day to build websites, and we had online booking. We were one of the first to have online booking in probably the early 2000s, which was quite a revolution at the time. And we stopped all of the advertising in the Radio Times, and put it all into Google pay-per-click, and that really helped the business to grow at the time.
So who were you working for then? And then how did you eventually get through to starting Beach Retreats? Tell us the story.
Yeah, sure. So it was Blue Chip Holidays, or Blue Chip Vacations as it was at the time. And we got, it was a really exciting time in that there was a lot in South Devon. There was a lot of B&Bs which were being converted into apartments and being sold off. And we were really well placed to help the estate agent to sell the property and show a healthy return for the owner. So we were kind of growing that business quite quickly. And we went all the way across Devon and into Cornwall. Before I left the business, about 15 years ago now, and before they got sold to Aways, with about 1,000 properties I think we had at the time, and it was just what do we do next, and got connected to Beach Retreats, who were looking for a general manager and hopefully wanted to replicate everything that we did with Blue Chip. So we just kind of connected, and it was a great opportunity, great brand, a great location, great portfolio. So putting it all together with the right tech and the right strategy really kind of like created that niche, which we've enjoyed for 13 years now.
Excellent. So tell us the story of Beach Retreats then. How was the business developed, and how does Beach Retreats stand out among the competition?
Yeah, so I mean, Beach Retreats was formed about 16 years ago before I started, part of Watergate Bay Hotel, if you know the area. And it was purely that there was some new build apartments near the hotel, which some of the hotel guests had bought as a kind of base in Cornwall, and they asked the hotel owners to look after them. And of course, the hotel with its reservations, marketing, and property servicing function could do that. So we had that very kind of clear, strict guidance from day one, and that was you must be within walking distance of a beach to join the portfolio. You've got to have a nice, quality, modern interior, so kitchens, bathrooms, high standards of furniture, and then you would be in the right location. So you'd be able to walk to a beach cafe or a good restaurant and hire sports equipment, all within that locality. And we turned down a lot of properties over the years because of that. But actually sticking to that rule has meant that that it's growing sensibly. It's growing successfully with good occupancy and good earnings for owners, while maintaining that strong brand and loyal returning guest database that we have.
Yeah, I was going to say, how important is it to reject those properties which don't meet your pretty strict criteria?
It's massive. It has proved to be massively important, not only to preserve the brand, but what we found was that our guests won't book them anyway. So you can say, well, look, let's just go for it and sign up every property we can, but you spend all the money configuring, setting up the property, photography, videos, etc., to launch it, and then you get no bookings. So all your upfront costs are just wasted. So it's better to have that honest conversation with an owner and say, well, our guests aren't going to book this property for whatever reason, and say goodbye at that point. And many owners have come back and said, well, we'll do the renovation work to get it into the portfolio, which is really nice. But we learned that quite early on.
Now, one thing Beach Retreats is known for, and it's something that we discussed at an event we were at in April in London, is your very high percentage of direct bookings. I think that you're about 97%, which is obviously outstanding in the industry. How have you achieved that? And how much does your background in SEO and pay-per-click and website building, how has that helped you get to 97% direct bookings?
Well, we've always had that mindset that because it's part of Watergate Bay, we have a very lifestyle focused mindset when it comes to marketing. So it's very much about the experience. It's very much about what it feels like to stand on a beach, surrounded by the cliffs and the waves and the sounds and the sensations that you get from feeling that, especially when you've come away for a few days and it's giving you exactly what you want in terms of rest and relaxation, inspiration, quality time with loved ones. So we it's very much that's what we want to talk about. These are the stories that we want to tell to our guest. We're laid back, but we're kind of professional at the same time. So no stone is unturned. You have a problem, we'll be there very quickly to address it. So from that guest experience point of view, that's built up over the years. From a marketing perspective, I think I'm sure I've said this before, but I think that letting agents are marketing companies, and that's what they do. That's market these properties that we have in the portfolio. And sometimes that gets lost, is that it's quite easy to set up an OTA listing and not have that marketing, which is not cheap, but actually long-term pays for itself. To have that kind of marketing mindset that guests are on a journey. Are they looking to book? Are they just looking to learn more about Cornwall? At what stage of the booking cycle are they in? And then to tailor messages to reflect that and get that conversion, at the right time when the guest's looking. So having that, I always think that it's a big decision to book a holiday let in Cornwall. It's your time. It's your time off. It's your family time together, which is very important. So the decision-making process is very involved. I'm thinking about will the children sleep in these beds? Can I park the car on the drive? Can I walk to a convenience shop? And all these micro decisions which are made before you enter your credit card details onto a website are very different for every guest. So having that. We're not a hard sell. I don't think we are a hard sell. We're very much helping the guest to make an informed decision which meets their needs.
There will be a lot of hosts and property managers out there thinking, I want 97% direct bookings. What are the top tactics that you can share for achieving that rate?
Well, and I think there's not one quick win, not one quick easy answer to that. I'm afraid. I very much am into my organic search engine traffic and pay per click, which has changed immensely over the years. So it's kind of getting that initial awareness of the brand and the product. Like I said, I've been building websites for far too long, so I have views on what do I do when I land on that page? What do I want to capture that person's detail? Do I want to give them an offer to get them to hook them in? And working hard to get that direct booking on the website. But also, we're a brand, we're known for a particular type of holiday. It's contemporary. It's on a beach, and that comes with reaching out to people who are maybe more active, looking for an active holiday, who are eating out maybe more than average, and then kind of tailoring the messaging to give the guests the answer that they're looking for. So we talk about website quite a lot and making it very easy to get inspiration, either in the form of a property which meets their needs or a story about wild swimming.
How do you build a website that converts?
I think simplicity is key. We talk about fast loading pages and having a really good search return, which just shows where the properties are, the practical, how much they are, making it easy to book, but answering all those very different questions that people are asking. So we have many debates about what does a perfect property page look like on a website? What's most important to the guest? Is it the price and the calendar? Is it the photographs? Is it the location? Is it that little box with the key information about the property? Is it a 3D tour? And that is a great unanswered question when it comes to that website. They all are, but none of them are to me, because I'm different to the next person who's going to look at that property page. So I think it's almost kind of like looking at your own portfolio and thinking, well, we've got the best interiors, or we've got the best locations. And if I'm in a real prime location in the city, bringing out all those kind of local attractions that I can walk to feels like really important. But for us, it's the idea of I can park the car and then I can leave the car at this busy beach in summer. I can just walk onto it without worrying about parking. So there's also kind of little nuances which work for each portfolio manager in each location. I think it's understanding what those are and really bringing them to the forefront on the website.
Talk to us about Cornwall then. What are the main challenges and opportunities in your location?
Well, great opportunity. It's the UK's most popular county, I believe, for holidays outside London, and people will always come to Cornwall. It's got fantastic beaches. It's got the food and the drink offering, and it's a bit easier to get to now. We have better road connections, but you're here, and you are very far away from the rest of the country. You're going to have something for everybody. So you've got attractions, you've got the villages, you've got all the crafts and the beaches. So it's a great product, and it will always be. People will always come to Cornwall. It's not that we're complacent about it, but they'll always come to Cornwall. The challenges, of course, come a degree of oversupply, but I guess that's kind of in many parts of the country now. Rising costs around changeovers are a big issue for owners. It's not cheap to get a property cleaned, properly checked, and then safety checked for an arrival to do it properly. And of course, we spend a lot of time doing that to make sure that there's no complaints when people arrive. That first impression is so important. So it's kind of getting that balance of managing those costs and retaining the occupancy, in a market which is still a bit oversaturated, I believe.
Often when the media in the UK talks about holiday lets and the impact they're having on local communities, often there's a focus on Cornwall. Obviously, we've had different pieces of legislation and regulation potentially on the horizon. How is Cornwall dealing with that and that kind of that attention that it gets from the media?
Well, I think it's a problem countrywide, and you have probably the same conversation in North Yorkshire and Pembrokeshire and Brighton. In the even inland areas, I've seen some quite challenging stories about finding somewhere to rent sensibly. In Cornwall, I think we need more education, especially between a holiday home, which is used privately, and a holiday let, which is a small business, which is bringing people to a local area, and it's supporting local restaurants, shops, because people are spending a lot of money when they come on holiday, more than you would normally do at home. So education around what a holiday let is and what it does for the county is something that I think is very much happening at the moment with the work of PASC and some of my fellow agencies in Cornwall. They're making those connections now to MPs and councillors and just educating them about where it fits in.
What are your top tips for delivering an outstanding guest experience?
Oh, I think it's first impression. So again, my first impression is really important. So I've had a long journey. I booked a holiday with a company I've never heard of before. I arrive, I find it easily, I find the key, I open the front door, and you've got that verification of you've made a brilliant choice for your holiday. All your friends and family love you because you just nailed it. And the kitchen is spotless, the bathroom is spotless, the view is as described, and you can just put your feet up, and that's when your holiday begins and relaxes. So getting that first impression right is something that's really hard to do, but actually really kind of really important.
And what are your top tips for keeping owners happy?
I think listening to them. I think owners, especially our owners, they're not all hard-nosed investors. There's a degree of personal involvement. So it's understanding who your owners are and what they want. And we're flexible in that if owners want to do something, we'll accommodate that. We'll work with them because it's their property. And they always think, well, it's a bit strange to say, well, you can't come down this week because it's only kind of week-long stays and you can't come down for 3 nights. Or you can try and put restrictions on their use of their property. So we work with them collaboratively, and that delivers. You get that long-term relationships, and we're very hot on when they're in. Our owners team work very hard to make sure that every owner who contacts us gets a same-day reply and gets a call, and that customer service level has to be, really up there.
What's been your biggest lesson learned during your journey with beach retreats?
So it's staying humble, isn't it? It's just kind of, I know that out there was somebody who can take a better photograph of a property than me. I know there's somebody who's better on a spreadsheet than I am. I know there's somebody who is better at talking to a guest than I am. So it's kind of learning all the time. So you kind of, and I think it's a great sector to work in. People are on holiday, you're making memories for people. So being around that can be very inspiring. So letting the team do what they do and letting them run with it, giving them the support that they need when they want it, but letting them, excel has been really important.
What do you love most about hosting?
On the beach. I work on the beach, James. Come on. Who else does that? I'm very lucky in that we have a meeting. I'll meet an owner in a beach cafe, and we'll have a coffee overlooking the beach. And it's, I'd say you're helping people make memories, and you're helping people successfully holiday, filling a calendar, which is, seeing an owner come down and, people they're getting proposing to each other. It's baby's first holiday. All these kind of little stories that come out of each guest and why they're coming to us. To kind of hear those stories is amazing.
Business on the beach. I love it. All right then, Andy. So we've got a few more quick fire questions now. So which PMS do you use?
Well, we've been on Super Control for about 3-4 years now.
Super Control. Which dynamic pricing tool do you use?
And we've connected Server Control to Beyond Pricing. We did that about a year ago. So we're now looking at a whole year's worth of data. It's starting to tell some really good stories about year-on-year improvements.
Great shout out for Beyond there. Which piece of tech couldn't you live without?
Is this holiday related or is it life for it?
So, whatever you like.
So I thought about this, and what's really good for our sector, I think, is Google Maps as an app, in that it will navigate me to where the property is. It will give me a bird's eye view of the property and what's around it. It will help me to find local restaurants and takeaways and shops and petrol stations and everything that I need to know. So it's not a holiday tool, but if I'm traveling myself, I mean, I used it extensively when we just came back from Spain, and it's because it's a new area. So to actually have that, get that most out of where you're going, most out of Cornwall, it's just kind of something that we've used for a long time, just to really get the value out of your holiday.
I think that is a really great point. It actually takes me back to when I started working in newspapers about 20 years ago, and there was no Google Maps, and I had to use, a physical map. When you're trying to drive is quite difficult, especially if your sense of direction, like mine, is pretty awful. So Google Maps, it really is very, very helpful. Okay, then. So in an ideal world, pets, yes or no?
Yeah, you've got to go with pets. Part of the family. Leaving them behind is not a great start to a holiday.
Hot tubs, yes or no?
I'm going to sit on the fence next to the hot tub here. So, okay. Hot tubs, yes. We found that some of the kind of running costs can be challenging. The health and safety elements need to be absolutely 100% on the ball with that. But if you've got the right property in the right location with the right outdoor space, yes, absolutely go for it. It's a luxury, it's an indulgence. If you haven't got one at home, it feels special that you've got, you're elevating your place to stay for a week.
Self-check-in or personal welcome?
The choice, I think. So we have a lot of self-check-ins because of the nature of where the properties are, and it'd be very cost prohibitive to welcome all of our guests. And some guests will arrive bang on the dot at 4 o'clock. Some will be there at midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning. So having that flexibility and freedom to arrive whenever you want, I think is really important. It fits in with their personal life, and they've travelled a long way typically. Having a meet and greet, I think, is fantastic if we can deliver it. I mean, I've had it myself on my own travels, and it just kind of puts a face to a name. And often if you can book a self-catering holiday with online booking, you can then get all your automated emails, arrive, have a great time, go home, and not talk to anybody. So it's kind of like, it's really what the guest wants. I feel it's what the guest wants.
Telephone call or AI response?
We've got a great reservations team, so I know what the answer is going to be to this. And some of the conversations that I overhear when they're talking to guests about what they want to book, it's not like a sales process. It's just kind of it's a really nice chat, and the questions are unique. So we're still on telephone calls down here in Cornwall, and I'm a big fan of AI. I'm sure that AI will play a very big part of what we do in the future, just not quite today.
What's your most memorable hosting moment?
So we took on some new properties geographically, which were in a new area for us. We spent the whole day there on a photo shoot, making a film, and it's on the beach, as you imagine, looking out over the sea. We finished about, I think it was September. We finished about 7 o'clock, and it was lovely and warm. We were staying in the property, so we just cracked open a glass of wine and watched the sun go down. So a really good, productive day's work, creating some content, telling some stories. And actually, after that, it was just stop, do this, get your Instagram post done. And it's one of those moments where you could be anywhere in the world.
Fantastic. Okay, then shout out time. An individual in the STR industry who's helped you and you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, we'll give a shout out to Richard Vorton. He lives close by me. We talk about going kayaking, but we've never quite done it yet. But he's just been a great person to connect to.
And ultimate goal for your business. And we should state here that Beach Retreats has been acquired by Travel Chapter. So perhaps the ultimate goal has been achieved. But so tell us about that and the process and what's going to happen.
Yeah, so we were joined last week, so it's very much breaking news. It's very new for us, but we're very excited. I think we found a partner in Travel Chapter who share our values and our B Corp outlook, and our people are working with our team, and it's very exciting, and that we're going to get access to lots of best practice in the sector, and hopefully maybe we'll show them one or two things as well. But it's really good for the brand and the business. Right time to do it. So I'll be staying on for a bit to see how it goes and get the integration right, and then realise the full value. It's the next chapter, I think, is the way I would class it.
Superb. And then, well, ultimate goal for you now that this kind of acquisition has been achieved.
Have a holiday. Come on, Jib. Let's have a holiday. No, this is really good. Very exciting times. What comes next, I have no idea. But I'm really looking forward to it, whatever it is.
Fantastic. What a journey down there on the beach in Cornwall. Andy, thanks so much for joining us today, and thanks for being part of the Host Planet Playbook.
You're welcome.
All right, that's it for today's episode. My thanks to Andy for sharing his journey and for being part of the Host Planet Playbook. Remember, this series is brought to you in partnership with Hospitable, the all-in-one property management software designed to save you time and help your business thrive. Hospitable automates your guest messaging, syncs your calendars across platforms, handles team tasks, and so much more, so you can focus on delivering a top-notch guest experience or just get some of your time back. And here's the good news. Host Planet Playbook listeners get an exclusive 14-day free trial plus 25% off for the first 3 months. Head to hospitable.com/hostplanet to claim your offer and start running your rentals on autopilot. For more free education for vacation rental hosts, head to hostplanet.club, where you can sign up for our newsletter, listen to our podcasts, and download our suite of ebooks. Until next time, happy hosting.